We promised we're going to have the backstory of the finger wag picture, which to this day, right? To this day, I bet people talk to you about it.
They do. They do. It's everywhere, and everybody remembers that. You know, it was the day of infamy. It was just something else.
Take us back. All right, so the president was coming into town,
Yes.
President Barack Obama.
Yes.
And you, as the governor, you were a different party, but
Right.
you would greet the president, of course,
Oh,
you said.
absolutely, yes.
Okay.
And I arrived, and I waited out there, and he came down the stairs, and I welcomed him to Arizona, and he was going over to Intel, and I wasn't going to go with him to Intel, but I wanted to welcome him. And I had written a letter, and I had written in there things that we had implemented here in Arizona that I thought would be helpful for him to implement on a federal level.
Like what?
Things like securing our border, access, the immigrants, the SCAP dollars, and I hand wrote the whole thing, and I photocopied it before I left, which was very smart of me. And we kept talking, and I talked to him about getting the border secured. Well, he rebuffed me. He really, really rebuffed me.
What did he say?
And so that they were doing everything that they can. They got the border under control. It was just nonsense. And during that conversation, I was trying to tell him, no, it's not. It's not. And he denied it, of course. And then he indicated to me after that he didn't like the way I had depicted him in my book. And I asked him,
Scorpions for breakfast.
right.
Right.
And I said, did you read my book? And he goes, parts. And he ran away from me. But it was interesting that the photographer was there and got that precise moment of it.
So when did you first see that picture? Because you probably didn't know it was captured.
No, the phone's ringing in the car when I get in there with my detail, and it's my son calling me. And he's saying, you know, what have you done? You're all over the news. He says, you're everywhere. I said, I don't know, but he wasn't very nice to me. I was trying to help him. And, you know, blah, blah. Then he calls me back, and he says, you wagged your finger at him on the tarmac. I said he wouldn't listen to me. And then the press got after Michael because he was working at Ledge Council. He's a lawyer. And they said, what'd you think about your mother on the tarmac with Obama, with President Obama? He said, well, he says, I never thought President Obama and I would have anything in common. But we both have been at the other end of that finger. And I says, oh, Michael, you're wonderful. You humanized it, right?
But I mean, you said that it was to the point where somebody in like one of those autograph people in Las Vegas
Yes.
wanted to hire you to come out and sign copies of that, but you wouldn't do it.
Oh no! They wanted me. They wanted to send me the pictures, and they wanted me to sign them, and then they would sell them. You know, auction company. Yeah.
Why not?
Well, I just didn't think it was the right thing to do.
Right.
You know, it was. You know, there's about 3 pictures like that signed. I know where.
I didn't get one.
And I know where they're at. It's copyrighted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to this day, it endures, right? I mean, it still pops up from time to time. Are you surprised by that?
Well, yeah, no, not really. It made such big headlines. It was national news everywhere you went, you know, and it's hanging in the Smithsonian Institute, for my goodness sake. That'll be my legacy, I guess. But I think it says that I was fighting for Arizona and for the people of Arizona. And I needed his support and his help, and he wasn't getting it to me. So he needed to listen to me.
He's speaking
Troy?
tonight at the DNC. Yeah, I knew I was going to get the finger. Thank you very much. Very good talking with you. Appreciate it, Governor.